everyone, and welcome to this presentation on the grants that we're making for 2023 here. And I'm proud to say that we have about $4.2 million in different kinds of federal funds. You'll hear more from that from the group in a few minutes. There'll also be time if you want to make a statement up to 5 minutes when we're done with the presentation, which shouldn't take too long. But right now, I'll pass it over to Deb Smith to start things off. Deb.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Deborah Smith, and I'm the Director for the Department of Economic and Community Development. Today I have with me Dave Dieter, who is our Assistant Director, and Veronica Fields, who is the Grant Administrator. Today we will discuss the process for our fiscal year 2023 annual plan and the proposed activities for fiscal year 2023. The 5-year consolidated plan was developed back in 2020. This consolidated plan is effective from 2020 to 2024. Each year, the City of Erie updates the consolidated plan with an annual plan to ensure that we're still meeting the needs of the community. For the fiscal year 2020 plan, applications were available from December 1st, 2023 to January 27, 2023. Presentations were conducted the week of February 7th to February 10th, 2023. Today is the second public hearing, which is actually our 4th hearing today. We did have a hearing this morning. So this evening we'd like to hear from you on what housing and community development needs that you feel are important for the Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership, and Emergency Solution Grant. Also would like any feedback on any of the proposed projects that we have listed for funding. Please note that all activities listed are proposed and could be subject to change. So when the 2020 consolidated plan was developed, there were the following 6 priorities and subsequent goals and strategies that were identified for the City of Erie for the period of fiscal year 2020 through fiscal year 2024. For the Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnership, and Emergency Solutions. They are as follows. A was housing priority. There is a need to improve the quality of housing stock in the community by increasing the amount of decent, safe, sound, and accessible housing for homeowners, renters, and homebuyers that is affordable to low and moderate income persons and families. And the goals and strategies are housing rehabilitation, rental rehabilitation, housing construction, fair housing, home ownership, public housing. B was homeless priority. There's a need for housing and support services for homeless persons and persons who are at risk of becoming homeless. And the goals and strategies are continuum of care, operation and support, prevention and housing, permanent housing. C was other special needs priority. There's a continual need for affordable housing, services, and facilities for persons with special needs and the disabled. And the goals and strategies are housing, social services, accessibility. D was community development priority. There is a need to improve the public and community facilities, infrastructure, public services, and the quality of life for all residents in the community. And the goals and strategies are community facilities, infrastructure, public services, accessibility, public safety, code enforcement, clearance, revitalization, and historical preservation. E was economic development priority. There's a need to increase employment, self-sufficiency, education, job training, technical assistance, and economic empowerment of low and moderate income residents in the community. And the goals and strategies are employment, financial assistance, redevelopment program, financial incentives. F was administration, planning, and management priority. There's a continual need for planning, administration, management, and oversight of federal, state, and for local funded programs. And I'll now turn it over to Dave Dieter, who will give you information on proposed funding amounts for fiscal year 2023, as well as the projected use of funds for CDBG, ESG, and home.
Thank you, Deborah, and good evening, everyone. The proposed funding amounts for fiscal year 2023 are as follows. For the Community Development Block Grant Program, $3,040,237. For Home Investment Partnerships Program, $933,497. And for the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, $273,428. In addition to the estimated funding resources noted above, the city has identified and included anticipated program income for the CDBG program for this year of $5,000. For those of you who'd like to follow along, on page 11 of your handout, I will review the projected use of funds for CDBG, ESG, and home. And as Deborah had mentioned earlier, these proposed amounts are subject to change pending input from HUD and their review, pending change from HUD, and the funding amounts themselves may change in our award. So on page 11 again, for the Community Development Block Grant projects for fiscal year 2023, we are proposing for public services to allocate $708,599. For public facilities improvements, $1,265,273. For special economic development, $113,318. For economic development, $350,000. And for general administration, $608,047, for a total of $3,045,237. Following that, for the home program, we are required by HUD to allocate at least 15% of our home allocation for CHOTO set-aside activities. We're also permitted to allocate 5% of the total allocation for CHOTO operating, as well as take 10% for administrative costs. So the proposed projects for 2023 in home are Hands 1319 Parade Street rental rehab for $400,000. Our West Bayfront rental rehab, $213,000. City Homebuyer Program, $102,999. And City Housing Homeowner Rehabilitation, again, $102,999. City Administration, $93,349. And CHOTO Operating, $21,150, for a total of $933,497. For the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, our total proposed allocation is $273,428, and the allocation of ESG funds for the emergency shelters and transitional shelters is based on the ratio of the daily average number of beds provided per facility to the daily average provided by all facilities times the amount of ESG funds available for the street outreach and emergency shelter activity. This year's allocation is based on the fiscal year 2021 average daily bed count. So the allocations for this year for emergency solutions, for emergency shelter, $138,957. For transitional living, $25,100. For GCAC rapid rehousing, $88,864. And for administration, $20,507. Again, that comes to a grand total of $273,428. I will now turn it over to Veronica, who will review the schedule for the preparation, adoption, and submission of the fiscal year 2023 annual plan.
Good evening. Notice was published in the classified section of the Erie Times News on Friday, February 17, 2023, announcing the first public needs and input hearing, which are being held Monday, March the 6th, 2023, at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Notice was published again on March 23, 2023, announcing the second public hearings, which are being held today, April the 3rd, 2023, at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. In addition, a notice was published on March 17, 2023, announcing that the City of Erie prepared the proposed action plan. Citizens will be provided an opportunity to present their views on housing and non-housing community development needs and to comment on the priorities and level of funding assigned by the City of Erie in addressing the needs as contained in the HUD 5-year Consolidated Plan. Critical dates: December 1st, 2022 to January 27, 2023, solicitation of proposals and applications available beginning December 1st, 2022. January 27, 2023, applications were due. January 31st through February 10th, 2023, was review of applications. February the 6th through February the 10th, 2023, presentations for CDBG and home projects were held. February 17th, 2023, published notice for first public hearings. March the 6th, 2023, first public hearing, citizen input hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. March 9th, 2023, study session with City Council was held. March 17th, 2023, published the fourth annual plan, projected use of funds, advertised for required 30-day public comment period, ending April 17, 2023, March 23, 2023, public notice for second public hearings were proposed. April the 3rd, 2023, second public hearing, citizen input and hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. April 19th or May the 3rd, 2023, council authorization to submit fourth annual plan to HUD. March 13th, 2023, fourth annual plan submitted to HUD for the required 45-day review period ending June 27, 2023. June 7th and the 21st of 2023, council appropriation and authorization to enter into contract with subrecipients. And finally, July 1st, 2023, the program year will begin. Back to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Veronica. At this time, if anyone would like to come up to the podium, we ask that each person come up to the podium, state your name, your agency, and you can provide comments at this time. We'll give everyone 5 minutes. So if there's anyone in the audience that'd like to come up now, we actually do that.
Good evening. Anna Franz with our West Bayfront. I believe you are all quite familiar with the project 702 Raspberry, and we really just wanted to say that we appreciate being included in the draft plan. We are very anxious to get started and get to work on renovating these 2 units. So thank you very much for including it, and I will not use my 5 minutes. We'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward and comment on the proposed draft plan? Okay, last call. Anyone else? It's yours, Leah.
Okay, we'd just like to thank all 3 of you for coming today, and thanks for what you're doing as well to make Erie better. Thanks again.
Thank you all.
Have a good evening.